I'm sorry. That what I was doing had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV.
Joy Reid breaking down in tears over the cancellation of her MSNBC show, The Reid Out.
What happens when a TV host's message starts falling on deaf ears? When even taking a pay cut isn't enough to keep their job? Joy Reid thought she could keep her MSNBC show alive, but in the end, nobody was watching. Let's break down why her show collapsed, why MSNBC didn't save her, and what this tells us about the media business. Back in 2020, Joy Reid was given The Reid Out, a primetime show on MSNBC at 7 p.m. It was a big deal. She was one of the few black women hosting in a top slot, and at its peak, her show pulled in 1.4 million viewers a night. But let's be real, that wasn't because of Joy Reid herself. It was because of the political climate. America was in chaos, race tensions were high, and MSNBC viewers wanted a certain kind of coverage. Joy delivered exactly what they wanted. Segments focused on race, social justice, and attacking conservatives.
I don't know how she on air.
But in America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? They Karen out, and then as soon as they get caught, it's like Green Waterworks.
How far do you go before they fire you?
They still want to be able to have their tears. I'm sorry. That what I was doing had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV.
And for a while it worked, but the media game moves fast. After the 2024 election, the energy shifted. People weren't tuning in for the same race-driven narratives anymore. MSNBC's ratings took a hit across the board, but the Reid Out was hit the hardest. By the end of 2024, her audience had dropped nearly 50%, sinking to 759,000 viewers per night. Fast forward to early 2025, and it wasn't getting better. She was barely hitting 973,000 viewers a night, down 28% year over year. Now, MSNBC knew these numbers weren't sustainable. But here's what makes this story even wilder. Joy Reid took a pay cut to try and save her show. She went from $3 million a year to $1.5 million, basically cutting her salary in half. That should have bought her more time, right? Wrong. The network still canceled her show. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't just about money. It was about audience demand, and people had moved on. MSNBC has cut hosts before, but the ones who survive have something Joy Reid didn't: versatility and industry pull. Rachel Maddow, for example, barely even does her show anymore, yet she's still making millions because MSNBC sees her as an irreplaceable brand. Meanwhile, guys like Chris Hayes and Lawrence O'Donnell, who also had viewership drops, adjusted their messaging and managed to hold on. Joy Reid? She stuck to the same script for too long, and audiences got tired of it. And that brings us to the real reason her show failed: race-baiting fatigue. The same narratives that got her big ratings in 2020 just didn't have the same effect in 2025. It was too predictable, too repetitive. After the election, the urgency faded. Even MSNBC's core audience didn't want every story to be about race anymore. And when the viewers left, advertisers followed. At a certain point, MSNBC had to ask, why are we keeping a sinking show on air? And that's the lesson here. Media companies are businesses first. They don't care about loyalty, activism, or how much you push their agenda. If your numbers drop, you're done. Joy Reid learned that the hard way. So what do you think? Was her firing inevitable, or could she have saved her show by switching things up? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into money, media, and business.